Hey, just waiting for the chat to. There we go. There's the stream. Time for conquest. Hopefully not to die. Thing is, dying is not as much of a problem anymore. The way the system works is that you can restart at each chapter, so you can start at the beginning, at adolescence or adulthood. So now if I die, I can restart at this chapter, and it's not as big of a deal. The problem is restarting in the second chapter is like the toughest place to start the game, I would say. Which is why I wanted to get through that. But now that I have, even if I do mess up and I die, it's not that big a deal, so I would try not to. First we should go to the tree though. The game told me very specifically to do it. The Sacred Glen. Though your eyes see only a wooden hollow, your whole being can sense a deeper truth. This is a living labyrinth, tenderly maintained by many subtle beings who have been drawn here over the ages. The essence lines of Earth herself converge here, each pathway a vein or artery coursing inexorably toward or away from the heart, where old is made new. Now that you have out the clouds, you can bypass the maze and fly straight to the center, but only the worthy may stand in glory of the living one. Do you approach? I actually think I might not have enough stats. Yeah, I do not. I need higher stats. So these are yellow, so this is 7. Kidnapping a princess. So I probably need like 7, half 7 in each. That's still long. I don't know if I can reach it, but I do not approach them. If that's the case, I should hunt first, I think. And get my food up. There's several scents on the air, one familiar to this place, but a few other. Woodstrider Bertha. Have I managed the deer yet? Vagina of your age, quite large. Far and wide. A local beast, good beast singer of your strength and wisdom, spreading your renown far and wide. So I am famous, by the sounds of it. I guess I'm gonna go pwn some deers. The wind has spoken to your nose and ears, bringing tidings of the Woodstrider Bertha in the area, and seems completely oblivious to your presence. A great distance, you must move quickly. That said, I think it said that my time has doubled again. So I think even with a quickly, I'm still gonna do like 5. Yeah, like at this point I can research super efficiently. You strike 2. What was once the leaves of the great trees was fashioned into the body and essence of this graceful woodstrider, and now it is yours. The meal leaves you feeling deeply satisfied. I find it interesting how this game makes a case for deers being like the ultimate nature. Like, don't mess with deers, man. They are like the existence. They are the most important beings in the universe. Yeah, I have not. No, I have finished the research now. Nice. Interesting. You can see the green flow through. Yeah, they really are. Oh, it does show these two, but they have like the leaves. They're like the most important thing ever. Furbeast smelling of trees. A motherverse-sized Furbeast. What is a tree one? Ah, shit. I don't want to eat more deers. I don't even care. The soft overcomes the hard. Water dissolves even great mountains in time. The path to true mastery lies not in strength nor domination, but through knowing. Knowing the caress of leaf upon soft flank, knowing the cool clear streams flowing without and within, knowing the bright and quiet places hidden from the eye, we have become one with the great green, a crown given, and a crown is given unto us for the head of the soil. We are the lovers. This is our way, the good way of the wood striders. Well, now I'm gonna go see Vantage, I guess. I'm a bit worried about doing the blue one. I know he's quite tough. The skyward reach, the cool winds tease your feathers as you survey that dry land from just under the clouds. Few trees grow here, but their smaller cousins form a lush patchwork of lush patchwork of gold and purple, threaded with green ravines and rocky gorges. Great thorn sherwoods roam here in loose clans. Caves shoot through with shinestone veins, sleep beneath the hollow hills. The time has come for it to become yours. Drawing in as much air as you can, you unleash a song of challenge against its protector. O Vantage, Lord of Skyward Reach, the cool dancing grasses, the heather sweetened good beasts, they call to me. Surrender to me the warm span of the reach, all that lies within sight or scent of the spirit wood, for I name it unto myself. I shall stand upon the exposed earth beneath the fresh, closer sky, and partake of new things. I have grown mighty indeed. Behold, I cover the sky. Put not your teeth against mine, or the sun. You shall dine upon your own essence. What emerges to greet you, however, is not Vantage, but a white-black, glinting, shiny thing held in its beak draws your attention, and you follow it to the ground. It sings to you. Welcome, sovereign of the spirit wood. Great Vantage has accepted your challenge and will dance you to destruction. Please proceed into Earth's body to its lair. What will you do? Ask why Vantage will not meet you. Ask about Vantage. Ask about the shiny thing. The breath of Ruby Kin is hot beyond fire. If you were to dance here, the skyward reach would be set ablaze. The overseer of the skyward reach will not risk the health of the land. The great below is better suited for a dance of destruction. You have Great Vantage's assurance that it shall not harm you before you reach its lair. Ask about Vantage. Great Vantage, a true and just king lord of the skyward reach, is wise far beyond many turnings. Here in the dry-bladed overwood, it stands against its rivals, the other kin who would rob it of its precious prey. Beneath Earth's skin, its enemies, the Delvers, seek unto Great Vantage's walk, and take what rightfully belongs to it. Through these conflicts, Great Vantage has been made strong. Victory shall elude you, mighty as you are. Ask about the shiny thing. This one is all that glitters, humble servant of Great Vantage, the true and just. A contest was held among the many white blacks who call this land home for the privilege of becoming the Great One's herald. This token I bear as proof that I have pleased our Lord, and have been given the right to hold its authority in my mouth, in my song. I am the 26th to do so. Being able to comprehend such a vast number was instrumental in my victory. What will you do? Descend. The hole is so narrow that it nearly chokes on you, but eventually you twist and flow downwards and away. The light bleeding in is abruptly cut off. Somehow the way back to the skin of the void was closed. The ruby tribe, with their long, slender bodies and sensitive tongues, are best suited to travel along these blind hard paths. Alas, you're not one of them. Moving slowly and tasting the air at regular intervals helps. You soon come upon a shallow pit which has become the final resting throne of a young kin. From the scent, it went quiet about as many turnings ago as you have claws. It seems to have become trapped here in the great below and was slowly destroyed by lack of prey, or water, or both. Every move you make down here will sap your energy. If you're not careful, you shall claim a tunnel or crevice forever, as this once a kin has. A suffocating end, bereft of glory, with not even plants or trees to restore your body to the great circle. Rush back the way you came. Something is hidden. Just as you're about to turn away, something catches your tongue. A tiny end of treasure. Pawing through the bones, you discover, it seems, this young kin found something quite valuable before it expired and swallowed it for safekeeping. Alas, it should not be nourished by it, but perhaps your trove could take. Could be. I can take it or leave it behind. I will leave it behind. Are you certain? You are unlikely to be able to find your way back here in the gloom. Yes, leave it forever. Leaving the rare and valuable treasure behind, you forge ahead, feeling your way along Mother's veins. The pathway dips, rises, winds and bends. Winds and bends. At times you do not even know which way is up. Entering a large cavern, you barely have time to stretch and shake out your feathers when you're suddenly blinded by harsh lights. In your vision, 4 otherish figures swim vaguely. Before you can properly react, a gruff, angular mind song begins. So it is true, a new fire beast prowls our byroads. But it is not the crimson menace opportunity sings. We are the sacred gatherers, true children of the gods. We collect treasures from the heart of the void for our soon-to-come masters. We also wage a sacred war against the ruby dragons who pillage our voids and savage our people. It is said that all dragons are rivals. If it has come to challenge the ruby one, we share a common foe. If it will but swear to destroy our enemy utterly, we shall grant it a gift which will surely bring it victory, and show the way to its lair. But it must swear to destroy it, even if the enemy surrenders or attempts to retreat. It must show no mercy. The cardinal fiend must be forever silenced for the good of our great design and the wishes of the gods. It was the gift we will give the green beast before us will surely be victorious. Keep all of the enemy's treasure and return to the surface, never again to enter the great below, and all will be well. Will it swear to destroy the red bane, the disadvantaged, despite any disadvantaged, despite any surrender or flight, for the sake of the great design and the powerful gift we offer? Yes or no? No. It seems this beast has a head like stone. Why does it decline? Because I will not aid the other seed, enemies of earth and sun, against true kin of my people. Because if I do not defeat Vantage myself, I do not truly own the victory. Because I refuse to violate tradition. Because I do not wish to. Because I will not aid other seed. If it is not aid us, it shall be destroyed as vermin. Dare you stand against our unknowable music? Yes. You prepare for battle, but it never comes. Slowly the blinding light fades. It seems the devils have been turned to stone. Or was that what they were always? Then how? In any case, the threat has passed. They refuse to submit to the will of the stunted beings who worship the others. A brief exploration reveals a promising exit from the cavern. You draw closer to Vantage's lair. The great below is vast beyond your widest expectations. You can make progress only slowly. You have come to a sort of crossroads. You can see nothing, but each passage carries a different dominant scent. Which way? Left, right, or ahead? Well, if we follow the red, an unknown amount of time passes. You thirst for both water and light. Straight ahead. Your claws scrape listlessly against the ever-same stone. Another intersection. Yes, it is surely Vantage's scent, and it's getting stronger. You must be drawing closer to its lair. The scent of something delicious rises in the darkness. Water and food at last. The great thorn surefoot must have blundered its way down here and gotten trapped. Its misfortune and subsequent destruction is your gain. Parched and ravenous, you are quite lucky that Vantage did not know about such a sweet morsel so close to its own home. What will you do? Eat and drink, or pass them by? You have barely entered the chamber when the dark crimson shadow unfolds from above. Vantage, sovereign of the skyward reach, unfolds its wings and hisses, drops of spittle sizzling upon the cold floor. What in the name of earth and sun is wrong with you? My traps, my beautiful traps, all failed. The gem in the kin body, the foil delvers and the death contraption, the poisoned refreshments. How could you pass so many things of obvious value by? Where is your sacred greed? Are you not kin? Are you too dull to seek treasure and advantages? Sing, answer me. Here's my answer. I knew whom I faced, nothing in your domain could be trusted. Greed serves me, I do not serve it. Small shall the buzzfly apologize to the weaver for not falling into its traps. If only you knew air's true song, if only you knew fire's true song. I like this one, just because it's such a I have to. You've gained some water mastery. You are so pathetically moronic that you have turned the wheel and approached genius. No matter, I will preserve what is mine. You shall feel the dread flames of the ruby kin, who follow near the white-hot belly of the mother and are unafraid. Prepare for destruction. You have cornered Vantage, and so begins the dance of destruction. We are equally tanky. He is way more fiery, but I am way more watery. I think the first thing I want to do is fucking bite him. Wow, he actually countered me, but I still did more damage somehow, but I don't know why. Let's do Flowing Strike then. We both just fucking murder each other. He has to do fire at some point. This is not working out. He's not doing what I expect him to. I should have done. Shit! I cleared myself a Vantage. You have not lost. All lives move towards death. You have lived with each step, each breath, each choice. The world has changed by you and remade in you. Your journey is complete. Rest now in silence and return to begin again. God, I can't believe that. That was so unnecessary. Death. Death is not a failure, but only an ending, and all endings are beginnings in disguise. The fact that he never did fire, that was stunned me. Maybe I should have expected him not to do fire, being that that's the opposite of what expected. But at least, as I said, I got the. This sucks though. I'm actually really unhappy. That really sucks. I do lose a lot of my items. I can take some items back. Not really an option. So. I do want the voice mask, because at least I can show that off. Silver food. Heavy too. That sucks. I need to. I have the rod or everything. I would take the rod. Oh wait, I can select 2 out of 4. Okay, it's push up. Okay, then that's fine. Yeah, you get strong after dying. I could have done it in one place, though. Whatever, it's fine. I botched that fight. I walked into it very cocky. I thought it'd be easy because I didn't do any of the traps, but turns out the fight itself actually was the. I shouldn't have just ignored it. I have no idea what the silver food is good for because he just eats it. I know what the heavy cube is used for, but I don't think I get a use out of it. I would maybe take that so I can grind it. Oh well, at least you got to see the dying. I mean, I was probably not gonna die otherwise, so hey, it was totally intentional. I don't know if I don't think I get anything for talking about these things, so. Wait, I need to do the hunting again. Yeah, I still have all of these things, right? So I even have more intuition. So and she can see the certainty whether it succeeds on a given story action or know what element the opponent will use next. I really could have just used my abilities. I'm kind of like I'm mad at myself now. think using the flowing strike was a mistake, because I think it only does damage really if... I should just keep biting him. Oh, man. I'm just gonna inspect it until it runs away. I could just inspect it like a million times. This ground is good ground, for here our ancestors stood with their noble feet of stone. Walking in their footsteps we feel the rhythm of our people. The plants are good plants, for our ancestor partook of them for turnings beyond memory. As we taste them, we remember the ancient ways. This land is a good land, for our people's spirits are woven into it. Our sighs and bellows, our dances, we all have destroyed and created. Even if every one of us is slain, our souls will still be here, and in the good land of our people. Calling upon all to remember, what is good never truly passes. You didn't come to me last time. Why did you come to me now? I think it's because I didn't piss people off as much. Should I do this though, because I didn't really have... I think it was good. They're none researched. Interesting. Can I use it? I think I can. Let's try advantage again. Okay. Use air ability. So now I can do the nuke strat. You can dine on your very self and no, that's not what I want. Incinerate. Fire attack used during the dance destruction. Your fire breath has grown to be quite powerful right now. Deals moderate fire damage based on your own fire mastery. You set your opponent on fire, dealing damage to them over time. This blinds the opponent for the next round, preventing them from dealing damage to you directly. Completely overwhelming your opponent, dealing major damage based on your fire mastery. I think I'm gonna do power strike. You deal serious damage twice. So yeah, now he's injured. Now I need to block. And then I bite him. Vantage. I don't even know what some of these are. This takes a light amount of damage based on the air mastery, which ignores armor and fire resistance. The enemy is stunned for 1 round. I cannot make attacks. Oh, there's no ability to choose element. Okay. Oh, he actually did a fire attack once. What a douche. Which is douchey that he can surrender, but he will fucking murder me. I did not need to die there. It's such a strong character. At least it means I can do some of the more like daring, cool stuff now, without having to worry. So that's nice. For the matter of showing things, it's probably better. For my pride, it's worse. But I'm gonna wait until my viewer comes back. Hopefully, not too long. Also, I can show the voice face. And this proves that I've done the test, so that's pretty much the same. Okay, well I guess I will read. I don't know how long he's gonna be gone. Enough. I yield. Victory alone is truly impartial. It seemed as though I was a fool all along. The warmwood hills of the skyward reach are now yours. Azakin shall hear of my defeat and attempt to take what is left. I must rest and prepare for the inevitable challenge from below. Before you leave, hear me. I baited you to the great below, where the emerald kin are weak, and plied you with many traps. I used my mind to try to win the battle before it was begun. I defied tradition, which dictates that challenges should be met openly, and that the strong of the body should be victorious. Was I so wrong to use the mind I was given to escape from the bonds of tradition, to explore another way of being? Judge me. You were wrong, for your way would have led us only to deception and weakness in time. You were wrong, for tradition is sacred, beyond the grasping of any one mind. You were correct to do as you did. Innovation may be the savior of the people, yet you were correct to do whatever you could to win. Survival is our true goal. There's no such thing as right or wrong. Turn and silently leave. I fucking love Vantage, so I know what I'm responding. Gently you praise Vantage's ingenuity and departure from the old ways. Ways and tradition are meant to change after all. They were not always what they are now, nor shall they be. But those who innovate must be prepared for rejection, for failure. Such is a burden of the new. If Vantage's traps were not enough to stop you, It will not be enough to stop the others. Vantage bows his head. Yes, it is as you sing. I will seek yet another way, something newer than new. We must survive. There are fewer of us each turning. The seed of the others chokes us all, drawing us down. I humbly ask that you leave me to my meditations. Leave it there in the darkness and found your way back to the surface. Fucking love that guy, he's my favorite. The domain is now part of your own. Succulent good beasts roam the land and shall be good prey for you. Perhaps there is more to discover as well. For now it is time to rest. No dreams come that night. Even the void seems to understand the concept of mercy. The Hanged One. How easy it is for those who make traps to fall into their own creations. So I got an event after the first day that I didn't get last time, so I skipped through it. But that's why there's this option, which I will ignore. I might show it in it later. I know, I said that actually when I defeated him, it's like, bullshit. You can't surrender, but they can surrender. The combined scent of Shinestone and Strangeness have brought you to this. Like, it would make sense if you had the choice to kill him. The fact that you cannot kill him is what is weird. I would never kill him, he's my buddy, but like, he specifically says that he is going to kill you. So it makes sense he kills you, but it doesn't make any sense that you have no choice in killing him. Most of all because you never interact with him again in the game as it was. I have to see if I do now. That there was an update, but I will get into that if I see the update. Like if I actually see anything new I haven't seen before. The combined scent of Shinestone and Strangeness have brought you to this corner of the Skyward Reach. Here some kind of Shinestone portal leads directly into Ursa's body. As you observe from behind a kindly stone which offers just enough cover, you witness a small group of Notirs arrive. They leave a cache of objects, mostly the skins of good beasts and dead tree flesh, in the home. They strike the portal a few times and hide nearby. After a brief wait, the portal opens and two squat, outrageously smelling beings emerge. These must be Delvers, a kind of other seed who dwell in the great below. They examine the cache and put down a number of beautiful shiny things beside it, then retreat. The Notirs and the Delvers then alternate making adjustments to the pyre based on the offerings of the other. At last a wordless bargain is struck. The tailors carry the shiny things away and the Delvers take the surface stuff back into the portal. It seems that the Delvers are willing to exchange shiny things, and particularly lovely ones at that, for items from the surface which would be of use to them. If you leave an object here and strike the portal as the Notirs did, the Underdwellers may emerge and bargain for it. Best of all, because the parties hide from each other between adjustments, they will not know they are dealing with a drag. What would you like to offer? And this is where the fourth phase finally comes in. When the Delvers see the fourth phase you found so long ago, they seem astonished. They run back into the portal and bring more of the kind to inspect it, all the while widely gesticulating at each other with their forepaws. After long silent power debate, a massive container made of the most precious pure shinestone filled to the brim with a huge number of colorful sparkling gems is offered in exchange. Including the value of the container itself, which is the finest you've ever smelled, you would value the offer at 250 shiny things. No, hold out for a better offer at the risk of angering them. The Delvers emerge once again, vigorously gestate each other. This goes on for some time. At last, the eldest among them very reluctantly places some kind of object next to the already offered riches. The offer has risen to 250 shiny things plus it tastes like the one song inverted. They then force a deal by quickly carrying the fourth face inside and refusing to emerge. It seems that this is what you shall receive, but considering the uselessness of the face to you, the bargain was excellent. This probably should not exist. It smells like the one song, inverted. That's what I was here for. See you guys. Hey, you're fast. You were very fast on that. This probably should not exist. You have no idea how the divers created or found it. It seems to be normal matter, such as exists in all things, but turned inside out. It is in great pain and desperate to return to its usual form. Shattering the thin barrier of melted sand which contains it would allow it to do so, releasing an incredible amount of pure beyond fire in the process. It is not worth anything in trade unless the trader wishes to annihilate itself spectacularly. Extreme caution would be wise. Use it! Shatter it. Nothing at all. This is probably the best choice. I have to do it. You shatter the substance, protecting the... and... you played with antimatter. I had to show that. It's so good. So I wasn't able to do that before. I didn't have the mask and I had no life left to spend, so... But now I could show it because I died, so it was convenient. The funniest thing is... going to this guy. An empire of weeds, water's blessing lies heavy here, and life abound in diverse forms. Feather beasts and water-bound alike hunt and are hunted in an endless round among the whispering weeds, who protect all without design. They whisper as air sweeps over them, and 1,000 surface pools shiver in the wind. As you fly over it, taking the greys, green, and blues into your eyes, a delicious aroma rises up of fertility and decay. You can bear it no longer and cry out a challenge. O Tempest, Lord of the Reedlands, your empire is fraught with life. It calls to me. Surrender to me its cold word horizons, all that lies within sight or scent of the spirit wood, for I name it unto myself. The warm cool waters, the savory flesh of those who dwell neither in the green nor blue, but both and neither. I have grown mighty indeed, behold I cover the sky. Put not your teeth against mine, or the sun, you shall dine on your own essence. Every spray of the weeds, every rip of the marsh could be the first sign of your foe. You spot a sudden turbulence in one of the deep pools below and prepare to tuck in your wings and dive for Nessoid. You barely sense it in time. Something is above you. Twisting, you narrowly avoid Tempest's poisoned fangs. Shoving its head away as it wraps its body around you. Somehow Tempest was able to blend with the sky itself, which you did not even think possible. If you were not so flexible and attuned to your deep senses, you would easily be poisoned and already losing the fight. Surprisingly, Tempest seems to be concentrating more on controlling your body than damaging it, keeping your head and wings beneath its own. You briefly wonder why, and then it dawns on you. Tempest is going to smash you into the ground. Perhaps it intends to release you at the last moment and avoid the collision itself, or it may simply crash as well and use your body to caution its fall. Either way, you have a very short time to damage Tempest enough to force it to let go before you slam it into earth, as from this height you would be lucky to survive. The dance begins. So the funny thing is, I can throw the anti-mortar meta bomb at him, which I will not, but you could just fucking like use it right now. And he's fine, because it's like a 2-stage fight, and it just counts as having done enough damage. Like, he just is okay. We are both okay if I explode, but that's whatever. He will use an earth ability. I can't actually see his stats. You did severe damage to Tempest. Tempest did serious damage to you. Oh, your opponent will use a water ability. Water is countered by air, right? Shock. You can store living thunder in your body, unleash this light amount of damage based on air mastery, which ignores armor and fire resistance. Cannot attack, that's not that useful. Harming 10. This creature deals a small amount Hmm. Thing is, none of the wind attacks are like super strong. For the infantry shoot certain elemental battle. Dealing light damage based on your fire mastery. I think shock is the best, so I will go with. You deal with severe damage, severe damage. Okay, there we go. Fighting savagely, you manage to pry Tempest's claws and teeth off you, then slap its head away with your tear, just enough time to bring yourself to slow your fall. You are still alive, but you can barely see through the murky water, and your sense of smell and taste is useless. When the mud clears, Tempest is swimming calmly before you. It brought its surface is barely a sound despite its huge size. Flee! Its calm, unworried eyes are like a golden void. You are now in Tempest's woods. Underwater, your fiery breath is useless, while its lightning shock are deadly. Dare you continue to fight? I can actually flee. Maybe I was able to flee another fight. At least he will let me flee. He's actually like stronger than me. I could just throw antimatter at his face. Thing is, I can't really do any more food abilities. I can't use fire much. He's probably gonna use water. That's too swift, right? Bite each other. You know, battered. Tempest did serious damage to you. Well, you know what? How I feel about this? Fuck you. You deal ultimate damage to Tempest. You probably terrible use of it, but hey, there are like better uses of it, but I don't think I will in this one, so it's fine. You're not weak. I knew this from the beginning. In honor of this, I have held little back. I've shown you the power of my love for this land through my passionate dance of destruction. It can be used for stuff too, but I don't think I would get any uses of it in this one, so I just use it for combat. It's not that like there's like one specific scene that I know that it can be used in. Would you still stand against me? What morsel of food, what hidden curiosity could be worth your end? I'm loath to resort to it, but I have a final power against which there is no defense. I offer you this last chance to flee and live. I can sing a song of pure desire for your land. Though bruised and bloody from the combat, you pour your essence into a single pure song, weaving the sigils into Tempest's open mind. Here I stand where blue meets green, an outsider in a mighty empire. But though I am young and dry, I have tasted its joy, felt its honor, and in the wounds I bear. I'm swollen with desire for it, to know it as you have known it. As my own feather, so shall be each of the countless reeds. As my own essence, so shall I be its streams and tarns. With a gentle claw and with gratitude, I shall harvest its good beasts, taking them inside and becoming one with them. So shall it be my actions. If it is not so, may my body drown in these waters, so that at last in destruction I shall become one with the good and fertile land. Tempest replies with a single glowing sigil. I surrender. If you sing of my land with such passion, then I acknowledge your love for it. Take from it as you desire, but if you dare to abuse it, I shall become its vengeance. So it was that you came to possession of the cold, expansive empire of reeds. Never again did you put yourself against Tempest the Reed Lord. Neither of you were in doubt about what would have occurred had you done so. What? I can build another fucking antimatter bomb. A new hunting ground has become yours, and your renown among the people has grown. A new encounter waits with potential to change the fate of the kin. Even so, it is still the Emperor Reeds, and the Reed Lord remains its true sovereign. Perhaps the time will come when you could challenge Tempest for it in its entirety, but for reason even you do not fully understand, you have little desire to do so. Kind of weird, because it just said I would get fucking pwned, and then it says like, hey, could do it. Blessed are those who guard and protect, for their blood shall not be shed in vain. The sharp smell of fear paints the air as the sun. No tears have come to the spirit to gather life. Most of the predators in your territory either hunt things too small to be of concern, or take little enough that your personal diet is not deeply impacted. These new hunters, however, are different. Able to slay from a distance, they give their quarry no chance to run or fight. They visit frequently and harvest many good beasts each time. Some of your favorite hunting grounds will soon be affected. It would not be enough to ensure your starvation, but the rate of prey to which you are accustomed may become a mere memory. On the other hand, the Tillers have long memories and are known to be unnaturally vindictive. Perhaps allowing them to continue this behavior would be less risky, though Yako and Essence both chafe at the prospect of allowing the outsiders to take from the bounty, which sustains you and is rightfully yours. Destroy them, they're three, and they do not seem to be warriors. Drive them away, but let them live. Tolerate them. Destroy them. You must now prepare yourself for the dance of destruction. Wow. He played me there. I'm getting... This is not really my favorite right now. Why do you keep... God damn it. Your silence too, and the last, terrified by your justice, flees. Well, okay, thank you, because I was about to die. Nah, you can go. You mercifully allow at least one to flee. Perhaps it will reward your mercy by advertising others not to intrude on your lands, but it might also rally its kind against you. Only time will tell. For now, you enjoy a huge meal, both of the flesh of the other seed and the good beasts they already had taken. Nice! Fixes my food issues. Here at the edge of Empire Reeds, a curious edifice stands. Though it is made from wood, damp earth flesh, and blends well with the land surrounding it, the strange top and the wood-strider skin grimly hung across the entrance leave no doubt. This is a no-till dwelling. Strangely, however, the smell of the no-tills is rather light here. The air tastes fairly clean and is rife with interesting overtones, sweet herbs, ash, feathers, and something like a slight claw. Very odd. Cautiously peer inside. The dwelling is too small for your glorious body to enter without issue, but your head and neck should fit. You quietly push aside the wood-strider skin with your nose and investigate. The lair contains many things, despite the many fur-beast pelts and the fleshless shrieker corpse somehow fastened to the wall. The reek of decay is absent. Instead, the air here is warm, making you want to yawn, and redolent with the sweet odor of lavender and sage. A light calmness sets into your mind. It is odd. Usually being near anything associated with the no-tills would cause you to alarm, but there's something different about this place. A short-tailed Slightclaw lounges expertly on the remains of a great lumberer, raising his head slightly as you enter and addressing you. You seek the artist. Ask about the artist. Art about itself. Ask about the Blackburn. Ask about the artist. Yes, the artist, the tailless creator. Not my creator, nor that of any living being, of course, but a creator nonetheless. The artist, as I name it, is transfixed with the beauty of nature. It will spend whole suns doing nothing but studying the many masterpieces of Mother Earth. A green golden leaf from a venerable tree, the patterns within the clouds, even the bodies of good beasts. It then creates marvelous things, mostly plant blends, which can banish disease and hasten healing, but other things as well. It also makes music, sometimes with its own voice, sometimes with other objects. It uses this music to praise sun at his rising and setting, moon as it slims and fattens, and earth at all times. It never eats flesh, instead it combines plants, water and fire to create nourishment in yet another form of art. Each creation reveals and magnifies the hidden pattern present in all of reality. Never have I seen or smelled such a bizarre yet wondrous way. It's a vegan, a power vegan. Still, I do not believe there's anything here that would especially interest an avaricious dragon. The few ships of gems and shinestone it keeps would be too small for an adult of your people to bother with. Ask about itself. My people, the short-tailed Slightclaws, are the shamans and seers of our kind. Though we have lived in these lands for turnings beyond knowledge, few now remain, most of us having gone coldward and wiseward for reasons which would not concern the mighty kin. Like all Slightclaws, we are of such perfection that mere survival is no longer interesting to us. Instead, we seek amusement. Unlike the arrogant, lesser, and brutal great Slightclaws, alone among our kind, we find amusement in the discovery of that which we call art. Earth has enclosed within herself and her myriad creations hidden patterns and beautiful secrets. We seek out these works of life art and then treasure them in our minds. We ourselves are a work of art, as are you, a drag. A harmony of competing symmetries, flowing flesh and intention. Ask about the blackburn. The Slightclaw glances toward the feather beast perched on the branch in the back of the lair, then yawns. That old thing, it has been here with the artist for even longer than I have, and that is long indeed. It rarely moves. I don't believe it can truly fly anymore. I've never seen it do so. Every once in a great while it sings, but its song makes no sense. I have no idea why the artist continues to love its presence. It's more of a pile of dirty feathers and hollow bones than a proper good beast. You are better off not concerning yourself with it. You glance over at it, feeling a tickle in your mind like a distant song, but the blackburn appears to be fast asleep. Ask if an artist will return. I am uncertain, but its journey away from here have been shortened of late. Old age has withered its flesh and bent its bones. Its mind is sharp as a fang, but such a thing is of no avail against the great void. No doubt the artist will soon return. It no longer has the strength to travel far. If you return at another sun, it will probably be here. Say that you have heard enough. What occurs now, mighty drag? There are rumors that the dragkin, even mighty as they are, fear the no-tales and destroy them where they see them. Will you destroy this place and deprive Earth of a great artist, or risk the wrath of your people by letting it stand? I will let it stand. In silent response, you remove your head from the entry and depart. This mud mound will stand, at least for now. After all, the Slightclaw talked of an artist was intriguing. Perhaps another visit will allow you to meet it. It's only fair to smell the truth for yourself before passing judgment. Ah, shit. A sting in the darkness. You awaken. Fragments of your interrupted dream falling down around you. There is no strange sounds or scent, just a tiny niggling pain in your upper neck, and then the cold dripping slow outside of your throat, but inside of your skin, flowing down. The core is turning to ice. You can barely feel your body. Something is numbing you from within. A poison unknown. You twist, scraping your head against the wall until something falls away. A tiny claw. There's some kind of fluid on it which smells like a well-crafted insult to life. This will not stand. Charge out quickly to catch whatever did this before it escapes, or creep slowly toward the mouth of the lair. Uncoiling yourself, you slide forward on your belly, attempting to shove away the large rage and fear building inside of you. You would only make them stronger. Instead, you breathe slowly as you creep, imagining your mind being bathed in cool water. It is dark, but all of your senses are warm and clear. Even so, you just barely notice that some kind of strand, like a thick piece of weaver web, has been laid across the lair entrance, a fang's height above the ground. Slowly and carefully you step over it, arching your back so as that your belly does not disturb it. Once you are well out of the way, you trip it with your tail. It is some kind of horror arm, made of severed, sharp twisted tree flesh. Had you not been moving with Water's own clarity and grace, those awful claws would be embedded in you. The green is alive with the usual sounds, the singing of tiny beings, leaves brushing against each other gently in the breeze. Your enemy must be very scared to tread the delicate surface of night without disrupting it. Moon is thin and weird. Your eyes will be of limited use. You flick your tongue, tasting the wind. Small traces of tree tail and various small feather beasts linger in the air for some time, from sun time, and you can taste a few tiny beings of the night laced with a bit of shrieker drifting down. A dense smell, the tang of a great lumberer. That is no surprise. They often amble about in the darkness, hunting resting wood striders and smaller night beasts. Then it hits you, born from a gust coming up from warm woods. No tail. At least one of the tailless is nearby. Absolutely nothing else smells like it. But there's an even more interesting zest. The scent of a kin. Certainly that would be the biggest threat. For the kin or the no tail. The source of the other scents rest here at the end of this ravine. By the smell, at least one tailless lies in wait. As you approach, a sudden stampede of stone charges down the slope at you from both sides. A trap, mighty enough to cripple or even destroy you. Can anything be done? Brace yourself, dodge, or use your great strength. Dodge the falling stones. Flight is impossible. The ravine is too narrow to spread your wings. You twist your body this way and that, dodging the oncoming stones. Dodging hundreds of falling stones in the dark would be impossible for most, but you move with air's own elegance. Sliding between the crashing rocks, you squeeze yourself beneath a small overhang within the ravine. Parts of your body get struck, but the damage is light. This was very close. This was a trap made to destroy your kin. Only your incredible speed and clear thought saved you. At the end of the ravine, you discover a heavily soiled pile of used tailless second skins. It was nothing but a decoy, and only another kin would be so clever. You know where to search next. Making your way closer to the source of the kin scent, you descend into a heavily wooded dell. The tree crowd around, anxious to bear witness to your vengeance, no doubt. From the scent, it is an emerald kin, and hiding just inside this rather undignified hole, your approach has been very quiet, and far from downwind, of course. What will you do? Casually move in, or something is not right? That scent, you have encountered it before, turnings and turnings ago. It is Flare. The young kin was the first to challenge you after you won your stewardship over the spirit wood. That is its scent, there is no mistake, but it cannot be. Flare was never heard of again after that. It either met its end or found a home so far away that not even a rumor of it reached you. The scent is a little too clean, nor is there any trace of the heavier scent that would be left behind if a kin squeezed itself into the hole recently. Also hiding in a hole and trapping one's lair is distinctively unflare-like. That simple-minded, bombastic kin was never one for subtlety. This is a trap. How your enemy obtained something with Flare's scent on it is unknown, but it does not matter. There is no drag kin here. Both of the obvious lures led to traps, which leaves you with one possibility. There was only one other scent. It is a great lumberer, and not yet a great lumberer. The scent that is of a great good beast, but it does not move like one. Before you can react, it flings a web of woven plant fibers over you. You can still fight, but flight and escape are now impossible. Only by destroying this not a lumberer, where you end the terror of this night of destruction. A dance most grim begins. You're battered. Your wounds are beginning to show. Well, I really need that fucking ability right now. I will use water next. Okay, so I will counter it with air. My enemy is one stunned after shock. You deal severe damage. Your opponent is battered and was for wear. Your attack's having effect. Right now it's stunned now, so I can overpower him, I think, with... Let's do Venomous Bite him. Mysterious creature dances on your tongue. It is crippled. I should be able to finish him off now. That worked. You have won. The threat is over. You will live to see the sun again. It was a tailless all along. All of the traps, all of the suffering came from a simple no-tail. It even went so far as to bathe its essence. It bathed in the essence of a great lumberer and wear its skin, so that you would not suspect its true identity. Doubtless, your recent actions against the no-tails caused this. It was their revenge, no matter. This wretched, not even a beast, dared to make a mighty kin its prey. It's now helpless before you, and too badly wounded to survive. Its eyes, however, show no fear, nor even hatred. If anything, it looks like one of acceptance and respect. You can only hope you never have the ill fortune of facing such a clever and strong-souled enemy again, as long as you live. However your end is. There's a hidden option. If only you had the power to heal wounds, leave it slowly agonizing, quickly with little pain, or hypnotize it, sending it back to its people. Right, you can't, so. You focus on its eyes, boring into them and searching the mind behind them. It is strange and heavily veiled in darkness and otherism, but at last you find it, and begin to imprint it with your own song, swaying your body. You have succeeded. The mighty dragkin you pursue is no more. You have succeeded. Your people need no longer hunt the drag of the spirit wood. You have succeeded. It takes quite a long time, for the tailless mind is very, very strong, but eventually it forgets the truth and believes that you have what you continually force it to picture. The dragkin enraged its people is destroyed, it believes, and there is no further need to enter the spirit wood. You carry it out of the green and into the tailless infested lands. It will probably perish in a matter of suns, but it should live long enough to pass a deceptive message to the other of its kind. Judging by the fact that no other seed come to destroy you for a long time after that, it seems to have worked. Now I can go into this guy. You've returned, hoping to find a mysterious artist. You look inside. That must be it. It's hard to tell, as it's wrapped itself in some kind of skin cocoon, but it's definitely a tailless, of an odd giver of its kind. The long fur of its face blends with that of its head, and trails nearly to the ground. It bows its head to you once and then sits still. You smell a very little fear in the air. Yeah, I think it's from the water. I have the hypnosis. It's actually, no, it's wind. Yeah, it's hypnosis level 7. That's what allowed me to do it. Kind of evil to do, but I don't want any more fights. My dude is not that good at fighting. There's something about this being which provokes a deep curiosity within you. Perhaps if you offered it something of a token, you could ingrate it. On the other hand, it is tailless, and they're rumored to be treacherous. Whatever you give it may be used against you or your kin in time. Purchase Lair with Flame, or offer it an artifact as a gift. What will you offer it? You drop the offering dirt. Slowly the notice struggles up into its berserker by sand and picks up smooth thin paws. Examines the object carefully, turning it over before placing it on the slab of stone, and then it looks at you and does something surprising. It sinks. You, great honor, gift. Picking up a small piece of sharp stone, it draws the covering back from one of its forelegs and cuts itself. Its red essence gleams as it stretches out the limb toward your nose. Gift, return, accept. It is difficult not to be impressed by such a personal gift as one's own essence, and besides, it smells fantastic. You lick the tiny wound. You've gained a little energy. The artist looks at you. You wish it had a tail. It's very difficult to know what it's thinking without one. At last, with great effort, it stares at you and sings. Wish, last wish. Wish help, help you, help I, help all. Will give much, you give, you receive. Friends, please. Ask the artist about itself. A flat place size, strange, eye always, body weak, different, unwarrior, cared about stars, plants, beasts, mocked, struck when small. A gleam that enters its eyes, but inside, not weak, could smell truth, hidden things, connections, spirits, could hear them, feel them, beast friends, spirit friends, plant friends, land bodies, essence, friends save my tribe. Become I shaman, it gestures above its head with a foreleg. High shaman, very high, but still low before earth, before sun, before friends. Now old and weak, and soon, but unscared, I, all ends is good. But you, last friend, last gift, last receive, much gratitude. Ask about his people. Artist is surprised at this question for some reason. It strokes his fair ace fur, thinking before finally responding. Gods, it points upwards. Gods come down, make us, to help us, help tend earth, help self-destroy. It pauses and comes up with a sigil. Chaos, destroy chaos. Some good, remember that help us, keep helping, try. Some forget that help us, no help, just self. Forget earth, forget gods, want everything. It points to itself. Not gods, just help us. Try to help, but sometimes forget, difficult, but try, that us. Ask artist about the good beast. It gestures the slight claw, good friend. It gives health, freedom to friend. Friend gives peace, joy, back, good trade. It gestures to the blackburn, old friend, good, best. Many times held both ways, fading but still strong in secrets. Dreams, many others gone now, but still it pats its chest just above its heart. Living here. Ask what it means by friends. Friends is like family inside, but not outside. Friends is connecting, binding, free. It struggles searching for something, then it seems to find it. Friends is when seeing joy. I see friend, I joy. Friend see me, friend joy. Deep joy, two ways. That's rather interesting. In the life of a drag, such a thing is rare indeed. You have been happy to encounter another being, your prey, but they are seldom happy to encounter you. Even as a drag, I fear some threats which you have never been joyous to meet. It sounds a little like compassion, but more long-term, more focused, permanent. Perhaps it does not exist, a fallacy of weak social beings. Perhaps it is something else. It does not feel pleasant to think about. As artists, how we can help each other. Want, make great treasure, treasure to share with you. I, but need stones, this many. It holds up 3 paw tentacles. Paw tentacles. One heavy shine stone, quite special, like this. It traces several square shapes in the air. Heavy. 2 antimony cleanse stones, banishes wrongs, makes perfect. Shiny, like this. It scratches something into the dirt, which looks like a ball of long spikes. 3 unpoisoned stone. Not true stone, not earth stone, but inside beasts. Big beasts. Long time, destroy poison. Then can have treasure, give treasure, you, I, all. Also can give knowing, many, knowing of beast friends, knowing of feathers, fur, scale. What would you like to learn about? Can teach you. So these items, effectively this is like a second one thing, really, because you're not gonna have all of these items the first time through. I do not have all of these items right now. If I gave him one of those items to even unlock this, which is kind of funny. You get all of them in chapter 2, so you can't get them in this chapter anymore. You can replace the items with a treasure, but it's very expensive, and I'm not gonna be able to do it. So one of them was a heavy cube, and then there's a bezo and a refining stone. Actually, you get the refining stone in the first chapter. So I can't do this quest. You have to do it 200% in the game, but that's fine. I just had hoped he would at least give me something, but he's not really very useful, is he? I guess it only leaves the humans. Kind of weird. I don't know how the... I'm not sure how the, like, extra scene stuff, the update stuff, like how you activate it or how it's triggered. I don't know. Because none of this is stuff I have not seen before. It's kind of like the antimatter in many ways. Like, there's just some core items that are used for things, but you need to do it to unlock, like, you have to do it at some point. I guess it's more important than antimatter because it also unlocks the tarot card. And to get the secret ending of the game, you need to have all the tarot cards. So you need to do this to, you need to do it to get the ending, the final ending. But it itself doesn't that do that much for you. I think it just gives you an item that is kind of like antimatter, but for a different use. Is this the Riverwood? That bastion of purity, zealously guarded by one of your own. Where is its kinlord scent boundary? Certainly things changed during the Great Sleep of Turnings, but you never thought such a sharp transformation as this was possible. Why would Warden allow Notice to build a highflet here? Hair betrays you with a shift of wind, it's fond of doing that, which brings your scent to the enslaved Clansingers who guard this place. They begin yelling frantically, "Danger, danger, 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 danger! Help!" You do not hear or smell any tailors nearby. A few tweeters dance up the trees, started by the racket. You could just leave, but with no tailors about, this might be the opportunity to enter one of the highflets and learn something. And who knows, there may be treasure inside. Apparently Clansingers lose their mind when they join the Notice. Sing to the Clansingers, scare them away, challenge them to a dance of destruction, avoid. Yeah, there's a 100% ending. Which, I don't know if the update added new tarot cards, so I don't know if that changes it. Because if it added new tarot cards, then I guess that, but it doesn't look like it. I think it's the same amount of tarot cards. Having like, there's a bunch of things you need to do for the ending, but having 100% tarot cards is one of them. Sing to them. You're bad, very bad, an enemy, foe of the gods. Yes. Your blazing breath and sharp claws, your colorful feathers, these things are not part of the new way. Leave now and stay away, far away, never come back, or the gods will smite you. As the sigils draw across your mind, they continue to assault your ears with a horrible hollowing and mouse score. Ask why they've joined the aliens. No, not Notice, gods. They are the gods. The new gods have shown us mercy, given us food, safety, and great love. Filled with compassion, perfect they are. Our pups survive, our bellies are full, and our cold times are warm and safe. In the dead of the night, the prophet of our people sing of the gods' greatness, and the gods are so humble that they come out and silence us, even striking us if we continue. Such humility, such enlightenment. Yes, their mighty music even allows them to control Earth herself, making her birth plants for them to eat. They can even fell mighty hillbacks without even touching them, bouncing sharp things into them from afar. We have sworn an oath, a mighty oath of binding, and we are theirs, and they are our gods forever. In 10,000 turnings the dragon will be gone, slain to the last by the gods, but we will remain, and trust and sacrifice, and even then it will not be enough to show our love for them. Praise the new gods. When they attain the stars, we shall go with them, while your bones will rot in the dust. Earth and sun gave us nothing, the new gods give us everything. This is very annoying. These were once noble Clansingers. It would be demeaning to be drawn into dens of destruction with them. Besides, the tailor's highflet contains nothing of interest. One such as you. The trail leads Coldwater deeper into what was once the Riverwood. traps another sun. Can I do this yet? They do not have enough fire. Strangely enough. Even though I have enough everything else. I should do that still. Guess we're just gonna do it counterclockwise. Two storms, one in the great above, another below, neither yet begun, but both inevitable. You do not need to understand the yappings of the tailors givers to know what is going on. Though they all look and smell the same to you, the group on the left must represent the local hive due to its positioning, making the group on the right foreign invaders. It probably isn't a full-on territorial challenge like those of the drag issue. Surely more would be fighting if everything were at stake. Still, it must be a serious matter if they would do the dance of destruction in the rain on just two thin legs. As you look on from just outside the cover of the great green, they begin casting things at each other, stones and fang sticks from items of grazer skin and dead tree, trying to harm their enemies without directly risking their own bodies. When this fails to resolve the situation, some shinestone-clad warriors, gripping long, heavy-looking forest talons and fangs, charge their enemies, and practically a jamboree of destruction begins. The rain makes it difficult to see and smell. Only your hearing can be relied upon. The yaps you hear often paint, and several of the dancers now lie on the ground, most still moving, a few not. None of this is your affair, but it may be an opportunity here for a brave or cunning kin. Attack the local notice, attack the foreign notice, remain hidden, leave this distasteful display. Nah, I mean I'm supposed to be dead, right? Remain hidden. At times you are astonished by the bravery of the tailless dancers of destruction, and at other times by their cowardice. Sometimes individuals refuse to yield despite grave, life-threatening wounds, and sometimes they scramble for safety though yet unheard. The young and overeager are first to fall. The older ones last much longer despite their weaker limbs, suggesting that dances like this are not uncommon in the life of a no-tail. Those who have endured have learned much better wisdom. It is not an uncommon tactic even among beasts. Risk the givers, protect the birthers, and let the survivors breed, strengthening the next generation. But what seems cool is that some of these young givers are not even given the chance to prove themselves, felled by projectiles from afar or cut down from behind by a dancer they've never even seen. Eventually, one side gains momentum and drives others from the field, who flee. Once the winning side chase after them in pursuit, briefly leaving the field bare, but for the slain and seriously wounded. Take the knowledge you have gained and leave this place. Wading into the quagmire this dance has become seems both foolhardily and undignified. Besides, you have already learned about the tailors from your observation. You leave behind this place, not wishing to pollute yourself further. You are now hyperimmune. Poison and disease are completely powerless against your healthy, earth-blessed body. Quite a few scent trails lead to this place, which is close to the tailless hive, but far enough that you cannot smell it from here. The tailless have brought stone and tree flesh together to form a sacred water sign. It is actually impressive. How did they move such a huge stones? Even you may not be able to manage it. No matter, here inside the ring, they have gathered. You know that the tailless eyesight is poor when the sun is gone, so you will be safe here, in the outer dark. You crane your neck, looking up and over the stones to observe. Many adult tailless have gathered, more than you have claws, though not more than you have teeth. They are led by one whose whole body is covered in a moon-white second skin, and who seems to be treated with deference. It must be an elder. It has more face fur than the others as well. It barks a few notes of Babel's song, and others all fall silent and still. For a moment nothing can be heard but the plaintive cries of the slave Surefoot in the center. This is uncomfortable. Please change my situation. The tailless elder ignores its pleas and begins to raise its voice in song, striking the same notes in the same sequence, over and over. The others join in. It is a unity of number and sound, bringing them all together in mind, and perhaps in essence. After a time, the elder places its forepaws on the Surefoot's horned head, murmuring something. The tone is gentle, a blessing perhaps. Good, yes, unbind me. Then the elder turns its attention skywards. It begins to shatter and yelp at the stars above. Is it singing to them? No, it seems to be trying to communicate with something beyond the stars. Something above, something higher than the void. The elder's blabbering grows more intense, more high and wide, and as it makes noise, it slowly brings a sharp piece of shinestone to the Surefoot's throat. What is this for? I don't need that. I need destruction. With great intention, the elder plunges the shard into the Surefoot's body again and again, until the shard and its paws are slick and red. It walks about to each of the other tailors, marking their brows with a little of the beast's dark essence. They receive this mark with eyes closed, as if savoring the experience. Then, seemingly without cause, the wood in the Surefoot's body catches fire. The others lower themselves before the triumphant elder, or perhaps before the fire, or whatever caused it. While the Surefoot's empty body burns to ashes, the singing resumes, and all seem to be in a state of ecstasy. The elder often gestures upwards, and is barking in an authoritarian yet grateful way. A strange contrast. There is a joy, much joy, and a savage fulfillment. This sight, these sounds, these smells, they're quite dissonant, especially all together, but the tailors obviously rejoice in them. Eventually the elder gives the final gesture of its paws, and a series of locutions, I don't know what this was. The tailors slowly leave, one by one. They seem somehow changed, as though they were hungry but are now have had a good meal. This entire act, it fed them, somehow. When all are gone and the fire has eaten itself into nothing again, the elder cleans up the remains. A young tailless emerges from inside the center stone, carrying the blackened remains of a branch, and the two sing to each other for a while. So that is what caused the fire. There was a tailless hidden inside the hollow center stone, who lit the blaze at some kind of signal. Unknown to all but the elder, the two clearly planned this in advance. And then they are gone. Night reclaims all. A swarm of questions buzz within your mind. Why the Surefoot? Why bring it all the way here, so far from its home well, just to destroy it and burn it to nothing? To torment it, to honor it, to send it beyond the stars. Wait, what? Where did that thought even come from? How can something be sent beyond the stars? And yet, the more you think about it, the more that tastes true. They were fixated on the beyond, both before and after the act, and the smoke rising from it. That's it, the smoke. They believed that they were sending it beyond through the rising smoke, which is pure idiocy. Its essence clearly dissipated into nothingness, just as with everything else. The tailors must not be able to sense the spirit colors which you can. And besides, smoke does not rise forever. You have flown high enough to know that it does not even reach the clouds, much less the void, much less whatever is beyond the void. But every small gesture and sound made by the Elder and the ground resonates with that idea. Somehow you are fairly sure that that is what they were trying to do. And why did their own Elder deceive them? It presented the fire as a clueless marvel, as a causeless marvel, but it was no more than a trick achieved by a hidden accomplice. It must have planned this because it would gain from it. It was testing their wits. It was fulfilling the collective desire. That tastes right. You smell relief coming from most of them in that moment. A strange thing to smell when something bursts unexpectedly into blaze. But it was so. They seemed to want something unnatural to occur, something beyond their understanding. But why would they want that? What kind of being wants to believe that it is in the presence of the unknown? Where ends this twisted path? The destruction of the Surefoot, the deception, the songs. They did so many things, and with such intentional arrangement. They were focused on something which was above them, but also within them. Above, yet within. Above, yet within. They came from above, and left their seed. Within their legacy, the others. The others were the focus of this entire series of action. The tailors were trying to communicate with the others, who made their kind. The Surefoot must have been a gift for them, and interpret the fire to mean that the gift was accepted. And what did the tailors desire in exchange? Power, wisdom, treasure? Perhaps a little, but the deep satisfaction you smelled within them is the one you have encountered before. It was the smell of a small, lost youngling, finally reunited with its creator. Safe. Peaceful. Bringing peace out of violence and fire. When you put it that way, it does not sound so strange. The Dvags solve many problems with such tools, and yet is entirely different because they are yearning for something completely outside of their own ability to attain. Their satisfaction will not last. The others were not truly here, did not truly provide them with anything. How desperate, how deeply in pain the tailors must be for them to need this. To need to believe that they are communicating with the others who give them these splendidly naked bodies and oversharp minds. They are blind to the deeper music of earth and sun, and it is not their fault. They cannot even see the spirit lines which color truth into reality. This world must look so empty to their eyes. Could they ever truly love her? If they could, would they cease being other seed and finally become true good beasts, or would it destroy them? You have never pitied anything as much as you do the tailors in this moment, as they grope scent blind through the dark towards the hive, believing in a cruel kind lie. So this chapter has a lot of human events, or other. One sun, you hear the crashing death scream of one of the forest guardians, a mighty tree which has stood turnings beyond countings near the boundary of the Great Green. It was not at all rotten or diseased, and as you cannot imagine why it would fall, you decide to investigate. Doing so reveals a strange truth. The no-tails are murdering trees. Murder, a new idea which it now comes to you, standing for destruction without defense or consumption. A good thing, where new strength in life does not come afterwards, but only a hollow space. One by one, holding Shinestone Void envoys in their forepaws. You watch as the no-tails destroy healthy tree after healthy tree. Perversely, they ignore the old and brittle ones who cry out to be harvested and only take the vibrant, unappointed. When they have murdered as many as their enslaved grazers can haul away, they depart. You approach the root-sprawling foot of a proud and generous tree. You knew well, this is all the no-tails have left of it. It was home to many tiny and small beings, and beautiful being in its own right, sprouting from earth, and slowly building a righteous empire of flesh, ever sunward, stretching, searching for the light. No, that century-old empire has been felled. Now that century-old empire has been felled in mere moments, silently. The stump screams, attempting in vain to understand its demise, calling out desperate questions with its fading soul. You know it will take many suns for its suffering to end, and for it to attain true quiet. The sweet, sweet scent of its sticky, slow flowing blood dances morbidly on your tongue. A sickness and a rage builds within your core, echoing through your essence. No being eats trees, and the trees were not threatening the no-tails at all. Your voice joins that of the bereft stump left behind. Why? You soon learn the incident is not isolated. Regularly, the no-tails come to the boundary of the Great Green and murder the trees, taking their bodies away to the hive in an unknown fate. What will you do? Attempt to frighten them away. You flow across the ground, belching fire and snapping your jaws. Seeing the shadow of destruction in your sharp eyes, they flee in terror. The green is safe once again, and you may turn to other matters. Flashes of unusual color catch your sky-born eye, and soon you are witnessing a remarkable event. No-tails have gathered here, many of them. Some are from the nearby hive, but some are not. And yet no one seems to be alarmed at the presence of strangers in the mists. In fact, the entire affair smells like joy. The air is filled with many voices and many songs. If even half this many kin came to your land for any reason, you would be out of your mind. Why do they delight in being surrounded by so many competitors, so many possible threats? This bears investigating. What will you do? Observe the dancing one, observe the giving, receiving artifacts, observe the elder, observe the fighting adolescents, observe the courting pair. Enough observation. I will do the fighting ones because I think I need fire, and this might give me fire. Walk, crack, clack. So this is how the Taters learn to fight with not their bodies. Shining with sweat, a spicy ooze which forms on overheated tailors. These moderately sized flat faces strike at each other with others with stripped tree limbs. They seem to be enjoying the activity immensely, emitting excited yelps and occasionally ha 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 sounds. They use their weapons for both attacks and defense. Sometimes they knock an incoming blow aside and follow up with an attack of their own, where their opponent is off balance. Clever. By doing the dance of destruction with their not bodies, they're extending their reach and leverage. Their faces and vulnerable parts are kept safely out of the way, the dead worms receiving the vast majority of punishment. You wonder what that is like, not using one's face as one's primary weapon. Though the utility of this can't be disputed, the dance of destruction is sacred, and this feels like cheating. When one of them scores a blow, you expect the loser to be cross, but instead, victories and defeats both seem to only increase their respect for each other. This dance of destruction is actually creating strong bonds between them. Also, the first event I did with the humans was like a battlefield. So it was talking all about them fighting each other and the strange nature of fighting in large groups and being killed without ever even being able to compete with the other person because of ranged weapons. Dancing ones. Let's do the artifacts. Quite a few objects are being displayed by a black-maned no-tail of some kind of soft nunskin. The no-tail barks at passerbys, who sometimes turn aside to pick up, point, or to sing over the objects in question. None of the things on the display are found in nature. All seem to have been warped into shapes functional, decorative, or just plain art from shinestone, tree flesh, and beast parts. Occasionally the displayer receives something, a bee skin perhaps, or a shinestone ornament, and then gives one of the objects in exchange. Both parties seem quite pleased, though only one of them should be. After all, there's no such thing as a perfect exchange. A Tlansinger slave looks on. It's protective of its master, the black-maned one, but also quite happy and not at all frightened at the presence of so many tailors. Occasionally the master reaches over and strokes the slave's ears, or scratches its back slightly. Much of the scene is alarming, bee skins and calf bones serving as mere decorations, unequal exchanges under a pretense of mutual gain, enslavement of good beasts. And yet all of them, even the Tlansingers, smell quite content, happy even. The gesture of pleasure and encouragement seem genuine. They thrive amidst the song-added air and the body sense of strangers. It is though they have all learned to love chaos. A wizened berserk croons to a small brood of hatchlings who have gathered on the grass. It demonstrates how to entangle the torn or reproductive organs of plants into simple shapes with which the hatchling adorn their bodies. Some of the hatchlings are far more skilled than others at the task. One in particular seems to lack the necessary coordination or mental acuity, or perhaps both. You expect it to be struck or at least shamed for its inaptitude, but shockingly the elder does not punish it. Instead, it puts the hatchling on his lap and shows the process yet again, more slowly and with even more care and encouragement. When the hatchling finally succeeds, they both celebrate. As a lone hunter, you are no great expert in the behavior of social animals, but in your observation of those among the beast kind, there is little pity or patience for laggards. Underperforming hatchlings must be motivated by pain, and if that fear is abandoned or consumed, otherwise they may become a burden to their people. But from what you saw, you're certain that this particular elder, at least, would never abandon a hatchling, not ever. You can smell it on her soul. Danger, Draken, Wild, Destroyer, danger. It seems that you were a little too close, as Slave Clansinger has scented you, and is shouting again and again to attract the attention of the tailless masters. If you just fly away now, you will surely be seen. Perhaps there's another way to avoid discovery, however. You could also simply charge in and attack the gathering. Few of them have any substantial means of defense, and some of the objects being traded would look fine in your trove. Simply leave, use camouflage, use hypnosis. Attack, focusing on destroying as many as tailless as possible. Use hypnosis. You fix your golden eyes on the Clansinger and begin to sink directly into its mind, swaying your body back and forth. O lost shadow of the proud Clansinger people, you have forgotten who the true lords of the world are. Behold, I am the crowning glory of earth and sun. I bring sacred destruction to all. If you draw the tailless to me, I will make you watch as I slaughter and feast on them all, and then I will tear you apart and give the shreds to true Clansingers who still lift their praise to earth in the great green. You therefore wish to be silent and to depart in peace. It is only part of life for you, and those who you believe to protect. Silence, fear, retreat. Silence, fear, retreat. The power of your song and the swaying motion of your body renders the Clansinger helpless. At the last, it believes your song and withdraws, tail tucked below its own body. You make your exit with a notice none the wiser, having spent the sun drawing closer to the truth about these bizarre invaders. Oh hey, so this is where they went finding him. A turn of a foot, a twist of a long, graceful neck, a brush light of feather on feather, a leap away, but then a turn in mid-air as they are brought back together by a power sacred and mysterious. The great spear strider are dancing, splendid among the brave first flower and last shimmering frost. The dance heralds a beginning, the time of creation is nigh. Sweet, sweetly it burns within you. It burns within you. It is the future, it is possibility, it is life itself, and it demands to be made manifest. The call is spreading slowly, like tree roots through your core. You can resist it if you choose, but the spark of infinity, which is your essence, wishes to take on a new form, and only through you may it do so. In accordance with your trove and reputation among the kin, you may receive visitors who are interested in performing the sacred dance which begets life with you, or you may seize the initiative and visit nearby drags yourself. Some may wish to test or challenge you to determine your worthiness, and you too have the right to demand proof of them. It is absolutely imperative that you choose wisely, however. The very future of the kin hangs in the balance. As this is your first time of creation, and you are still very young, more powerful elder kin will almost certainly not offer themselves or accept your advances. Indeed, most kin do not successfully create at their first time, but you are not most kin. The 9th grade of Air Mastery. You can move a short distance in the blink of an eye, seemingly disappearing, reappearing. This can be used to ambush prey further away. So I guess it has 10 levels, not 9 levels. I think. Yeah, it has 10 levels. Make an attack so fast your opponent can't do anything but defend himself. I mean, I have to do it, right? Sabra. Finding your way back to Vantage's underground lair is not difficult, but there seems to have been some changes since you were last here. Disquieted by your earlier success, the Rubykin has flooded this antechamber with Earth's deadly essence. It has many names: Fireflow, Glowworm, Red Melt, and it's almost universally feared. Only members of the Ruby clan, whose inner fire burns hotter than that of the Onyx, can endure such heat. It seems that Vantage is still using traps to shield itself from outsiders, and this one in particular is simple and deadly. It does not seem to be very round. With careful cleaning of your fire-retardant saliva, you might be able to survive a quick passage through, but this is by no means certain. Entering in low health would be suicide, and even in perfect condition, the danger is great. This is the final chamber for Vantage's personal sanctum, which burns hotter. Earth's essence or your desire for Vantage? Alright, it's not gonna kill me, right? Jesus Christ. The pain. Almost roasting alive. Featherless, aflame, flesh melting. You finally collapse on the stone floor just beyond the chamber. You have survived somehow. The stone beneath you feels colder than ice after your deadly passage, though it is actually very hot. You roll around frantically to douse any remnant flames, and then lay there panting for some time. At last you draw your partially blackened body upwards into a small standing position. Sanctum awaits. Jesus Christ. Please, don't fight me. I'm really hurt. Vantage is clearly surprised to smell you here, but the hiss dies in its throat as it beholds your smoldering form and the calm yet determined look in your eyes. You are not here to challenge me, then why? Can it be you wish to dance with one such as I? But you eliminated me, defeated me utterly. How can such weakness be attractive? How could I be worthy of you? What have I done that you wish to pass on to the future? Your beautiful body, your beautiful mind, your independent spirit and defiance of tradition. Again, you defeat me utterly. Many times since your last departure have I raged against you, hated you, lusted after you. The strength you showed in defeating me has made you irresistible to me. But having been proven the stronger, you will surely demand a price. What will you ask for of me, my conqueror? Demand nothing, but merely begin the first step. Demand Vantage take submissive will. Demand glory, demand knowledge, demand treasure. Demand knowledge. Very well. Come close now, we sing the ways of the lesser good beasts. And now, come closer still. It is your time to sing. I will put a song of ecstasy in your mouth. Part of the dance takes place hanging among the rock fangs. Part takes place on the smooth cavern floors. And part takes place dangerously close to the fire mat. Vantage is as inventive and unorthodox in the dance as it is in other things. And you leave deeply satisfied in the ways you did not expect. A sharp and cunning line, founded in fire and darkness, boring well-trod paths, creeping forward yet away, into depths and heights unknown. These I have never seen. God damn it though, you almost fucking killed me. Oh no, I don't want to fight you people. I'm dying. The ignoble tree stairs have returned, this time 2 warriors of the kind, sporting shinestone second skins and long sharp voice fangs are keeping close watch over the proceedings. It would seem the tailors are rather bent on continuing this behavior. He could of course simply allow them their desire. But this is happening increasingly often, and with each fallen tree your territory shrinks. The good beasts which you hunt, having less space, might grow fewer in time. I will allow them as I wish for now, because I'm fucking dying. All is within the music. The notice behavior must have some rational cause behind it. It pains you to sense the tree death, which afterwards you often do, and your territory shrinking bit by bit as the notice shoo away the great green. But you decide to tolerate it, for now. You can now wholly rage for remainder of the fight. When rage you feel no pain, becoming immune to mind to exam hypnosis. I went through lava to do Vantage and it was fucking worth it. I love that dude. He's the best. That's kind of funny. The game never determines what gender you are. Like Breath of the Wild itself, you can silently destroy your opponent without a fight. Your ambush strike now is extremely deadly. So I can have a fire only, but I get really immune to damage. There's another dragon. Who are you? Am I looting everyone? A long-feathered kin has appeared at the edge of your territory. It calls to you urgently and passionately, as if it is in the pain every moment it is separate from you, though you have not seen it before. I am the singer of songs, the weaver of tears, the shadow of hollow traditions. I am the bringer of new truths, the one who would dare the far-reaching voice. You can't be nearly as good as Vantage. From the star's deep sky, I stumbled dawn inexorably down. By one whose beauty has ensnared my soul, arrested my essence. Unbidden, all my songs turn to cries of longing for you. All of my sacred stories, the tears of passion, for you are already within me, calling me, dominating me. I can stand it no longer. I am your territory, and my heart is your domain. I mean, I probably wouldn't, but I survived. It's cool. Let us become one in truth. I see your body, I smell your delicious fragrance, and I am bound. Yes, even I, most free of the kin, have become your property. This is a very clingy dragon. I do not torture me, my destiny. Let us dance. I promise you a dance which you shall sing of 1,000 turnings. For to create with one such as you is beyond all petty things which a kin long for. More than glory and fame, yes, even treasure. You are the true golden treasure. Why so? I'm surprised recently enjoyed a dance with Fireman. I'm surprised people even care about me. I might not accept its offer. Interesting that it's like shows that I could unlock them. Ask about his achievement. All corners of the earth, broad of body, have I beheld, from her red robbed depths to the ice-clad heights. I have been declared monarch by the butterflies, emperor by the flightless feather beasts who march the frozen plains, penguins. I have saved entire people by preserving the songs, singing them after silence, and I have doomed others by changing or erasing the sacred tears. Why would you do that? It's terrible. In the dreaming, I inhabit a blue crystal layer, like unto many mountains melted together. Am I not worthy, mighty keeper of spirit? But Bart has nothing to say about his actual territory, and Corey refuses to answer questions about it. What, you don't have a home? What are you? Treasure. While feeling my fluid race through the great below, I came across a hive of devils. They never say it in the actual game. The funny thing is golden treasure is an egg, so this guy's just wrong. But no craven am I. I blasted the hollow inks with fire, sang out a song of challenge. Feeling me, as the end of times, the devils bought the salvation with shining jewels, thick as a fang, hewn in mathematics, lawyers, and curious. Such is my finest treasure, glinting with victory and bile within me. Bart proceeds to carve up a very large and beautiful emerald cut into 35 facets. It's quite radiant, and the Bard wisely swallows it quickly again before the urge to take it rises too high in you. Yet it is only one treasure, and Bard can show you no other. Ah, no, I'm not feeling you. What can you offer me? While Ohm's moonlight was a beautiful song of praise. I am light, and you the horizon. How my body and my essence reach for you. I see all the glorious arc in your feathers. I see my own eyes rejected in your scales, reflected in your scales. Your teeth are sharp and your tail broad. Can it be so? Do I see truth, or but an illusion of beauty? You are the apex of time, the sweetest fruit of sun and earth is joining. Turn me not away, or my desire will consume me and leave me a husk, a broken shell on the shores of the one song. The song echoes from the nearby hills, and the warmth seems to be spreading through you. Never have you seemed so glorious in the mouth of another, but it's an insubstantial song of praise. It's not a thing that you can add to your trove. I'm sorry, but I'm rejecting you. You let out a blast of fire at Bard, the traditional indication of rejection. Bard offers no combat, but takes to the sky and is swiftly gone. He seemed kinda like he was trying to, huh? I'm sorry, dude. I think I can do this now, though. Yes. You alight before the trees. Humbly you fold your wings, bow your head, and surrender your pride as you enter the chamber between the roots. Even as an adult, there is somehow more than enough room for you here. You lie down and close off your senses one by one until your body is perfectly still, save for the thrum of the rhythm. Sleep sets in your flesh, and your mind is tempted to follow one of millions of forest pathways leading to shallow pools within the dreaming. But from air you have learned intelligence and self-expression. From fire you have learned passion and strength. From water you have learned flexibility and perceptivity. From earth you have learned humility and fortitude. You cannot be distracted or deceived. Your way cannot be barred. It's kind of funny because I fucked like the elf dragon thing, but whatever. They seemed less trying too hard than this thing. Temptation is powerless before your hard-forged will. Poised in the center you abide. Multiplicity and distinctions fade as many become four, and four becomes one. My sweet Fang, greatest of those who push earth toward completion, hunter of your own heart, your body and essence are nearly full wrought. In you are etched the numbers and painted are the signs. Before you lay sweet path, they are not the paths trod down by the great ones of your people. They are the paths trod down by the great ones of your people. Choose the path and receive from me a mighty gift, that you may walk with beauty upon your way. There's the path of wisdom, the path of compassion, the path of strength, or I choose none. This is actually a really good question. I think I will show the secret ending after I beat the game once. I will just, but because I'm not gonna show grinding for all achievements and stuff, but this is a thing that leads you onto there being a secret ending. Well, there are other things that can lead you there. There are a few hints toward it, but this is the major thing that leads you toward it, I would say. But I'm not gonna do the secret ending in this one because I physically can't. So I don't know if I should choose it. You can still do the other pass even if you don't choose it here, but it's gonna be more difficult. I should be able to show this another time maybe, so I guess I would just choose the path of wisdom, which is I think the one I'm going down. Wisdom, beloved of earth and sun. Wisdom by which words unimagined are revealed. Wisdom which embraces neither victory nor victim, but only those who do not fear. I grant you the blessing of air and earth, pillars of wisdom. You have gained some, you have gained large. And also warning, this path shall crumble and fall unless paved with glittering myriads. Follow the ways of your people and gather at least the lesser gather the last, the lesser shall wear you, the greater shall not. And gather at the last, the lesser shall wear you, the greater shall not. Follow the way of your people and gather. At the last, the lesser shall wear you. I think I get what it's saying. The great green is more than a covering for earth alone. Fear not separation from me. For wherever there is life, forming deep patterns, there am I, always. So based on which one you pick, it gives you a hint at how to get the ending. And some attribute points to get toward it. To translate this, it's telling me I need a shit ton of money. That's what it's saying by following the way of my people and gather. And it says that I need lesser, which I guess is smaller treasures. I need normal money, rather than greater treasures, artifacts. Sun is dying, and you know that better. You know better than to be here when darkness falls. For night and the great green are lovers, and even the mighty drag would be crushed between them. Return to your lair, you ponder what you've learned. You have been strengthened by the blessing of the spirit. Time alone will tell whether it is strength enough to be triumph over the adversities ahead. But you don't really need to do that. The only, like I said, it's only really relevant for the secret, and like it gives you the most information toward getting toward the secret ending if you choose that route. The other ones are pretty easy to get. I didn't really need to do it, but that's fine. I fear you. The heat, light, the burning. Come to the fire mountain, the forest lair. Be prepared to triumph and gain much. Be prepared to perish and lose all. Come. When you awaken, you somehow have knowledge of an island far and yet near, where the elder of fire waits. Even to dream of it filled you with pain and smoky hot ambition. Dare you answer such a call? Probably not. I don't want to die. I can negate one element. The 10th grade. The powerful two-song of Dominion forces other beings to bow to your will. That one's a funny one. The powerful two-song of Dominion forces other beings to bow to your will. In combat, it drastically reduces your opponent's fire, water, and air, but only if you win the elemental clash. The two-song is sacred and exhausting, used with caution. So when you hit 10, which is max level, in something you unlock the true song of that element, which effectively are the universe. Like, they are overpowered. I mean, you're pretty much like, you're turning the element into its truest form. So, I have the fire one that just unlocked here. I had the other one earlier. I'm not sure why I got it when I made a new game, but the moment I made a new game I got it. I decided I wasn't gonna do it because I hadn't unlocked them last time, so I would probably not do them. And if I have enough time left over, I might do this one. I don't think I would do the fire one because it's actually really difficult. And it's not worth risking my life on it. I could do the other events, but I think I will call it here tonight. It's getting late and I'm very loud when I do this, relatively speaking, so next time I think I finish a game, probably. We'll see. But this time, we died and then we undied. We got an antimatter bomb and then wasted it. But most importantly, we had Vantage. And who does not want Vantage? Thank you for watching.